So welcome everybody. It is July 13th, 2020. Thank you so much for joining me. Tonight we're going to be teaching about, the topic I chose tonight was stress, depression, anxiety in the time of COVID. Now this topic though applies to any time, whether it be COVID or not, but I was really getting the strong intuition to teach these classes. And again, apologies for those of you who charge, don't charge. It was just a strong impulse not to charge and to offer this to everybody. So how we're going to work together is I'm going to teach for about, 15, 20, 40 minutes. I don't know. And then I'll do Q&A at the end, and then we'll kind of go from there. So welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm super excited you guys are here. And let's get started. So tonight, in terms of the conversation of stress, depression, anxiety around the time of COVID, we'll be talking a little bit about COVID, what it is, what it isn't. But like I said, this does not just apply to COVID. This could apply to any time that we're on the planet when we're feeling stressed, okay? But I decided to use COVID as my main thing because that's what a lot of us are experiencing. A lot of my clients are experiencing. So I took a couple quotes from Buddha and a couple quotes from different spiritual teachers that I'm going to weave through the talk tonight. One thing Buddha taught us was that everything can change in the blink of an eye. Everything can change in a blink of an eye. The only thing that is permanent is actually impermanence. Take a breath. We've all heard that concept, especially if we've studied any Buddhism. We're like, wow, everything's really impermanent. And then we start to jostle in our heads. But this experience of this thing we call COVID has really shown us that. The whole world has shut down. And I know a lot of people who are on the call are not just from Vancouver. So, and people are going to watch this afterwards, will be from all over the world. And everywhere in the world, there's a different experience happening. In some places, they're wide open and things are back to quote unquote normal. In other places, things are really shut down. So, even though I'll be speaking, I'm going to speak this very general, even though many of you live in the greater Vancouver area, and we're kind of in phase 2, phase 3 of reopening. As a lot of us know, it can go backwards. So this is not about just COVID. This is about everything. So again, Buddha's quotes, everything can change in a blink of an eye. The only thing that is permanent is actually impermanent. Let's take a breath with that. As humans, we are addicted to control. I think a lot of us can relate to that. And if I could see all of your faces, I would say, how many of us are addicted to control? And I guarantee a room of 50, 100 people, I'd have 80%, if not higher, hands going up. And a lot of us are addicted to fear, and a lot of us are addicted to the externals. And if anything is really crumbling us to our knees, is this time where we have no control. We don't know when we're going to be able to get on a plane next. We don't know when and if we're going to be able to walk outside without a mask on. None of these things. So fear, control, all of that stuff is gone to the wayside. Now let me spend a few moments, because a lot of the clients who watch the work I teach are very spiritual. And so you guys are scratching your head going, yeah, Divya, I've heard these concepts. Why am I having trouble applying them? Well, the bottom line is the reason we're having trouble applying them is because of the structure of the human brain. It's not the human brain's fault. It's just the way it's set up. The human brain is actually, most of you know, have what's called a reptilian part, a part of our brain that's located more in our midbrain. The reptilian brain's job is to keep us safe. It keeps us in fight or flight. It keeps us in this low level of stress all the time. And it's always on the watch or on guard. And specifically what our reptilian brain responds to is individual, person to person to person. Some people's reptilian brains freak out from, say, abandonment. Somebody else's reptilian brain will freak out because they can't get on a plane right now. Somebody else's reptilian brain freaks out because somebody's telling them what to do. And our midbrain freaks out depending 100% on what our childhood was like from our unconscious, subconscious patterning. And we never want to make ourselves wrong for how we respond, because we respond the way we do. But each of those ways we respond from our reptilian brain are actually designed to heal us. And I'll get into that a little bit more as we go here. So I have not met one person who's going through this experience who is not struggling even a little bit, even a little bit. A lot of people are struggling a huge amount or midway around, but everyone to some degree is struggling. And one of the main reasons we're struggling is because of our midbrain, because it wants control, it's heightened in fear, and it's heightened in fight or flight to keep us safe. So just so you understand, there's nothing wrong with you. If you've been studying spiritual work forever, and you're like, why am I struggling with this so much? There's nothing wrong with you. It's just the way your brain is trained. It's just the way your brain is structured. It's like the human structure of the brain. Most of you know, a lot of people are struggling with anxiety, not knowing what's going to happen in September with school, not knowing when we'll get our sports back, not knowing when we'll be able to get on a plane. And then other people are struggling more with depression. Anxiety tends to be more future-based, and depression tends to be more past-based. And anxiety is like, why can't I have, oh my God, what's going to happen in the future? Second wave and all that conversation. Depression is, past. When will life return to quote unquote normal? And what I want you to understand is we're all struggling. So please give yourselves a break. Please give yourself a break. And if you hopped on after I started, just an FYI, I'm going to do a whole Q&A at the end. I'm just going to get through some material and through some exercises. Then at the end, we'll go Q&A, just so you guys know. Now, what our human brain does is it grasps at anything that will enable that control. So a lot of us have heard it. It's like, well, there's a conspiracy theory. 5G is doing this, and the list does not end. The Chinese, the list doesn't end. The people in Southeast Asia, it's their fault, because we're going to do that as a way of keeping that control that we want, okay? And I have been really meditating and spending a fair amount of time with all my clients, but also a lot in meditation, asking myself, asking my guides, why is this happening? Not from a place of there's something wrong, but what's the bigger picture? So we're going to spend a few minutes talking about the bigger picture before I go back into the control and the fear and all that kind of stuff. And most of you know I don't normally teach from notes, but I have very, very, very specific things that the energies wanted me to cover. So I'm just going to be glancing a few times to make sure I'm hitting the things they want me to cover. Because it was so specific. I was at the beach a little while ago, and I knew generally what I was going to talk about, but I got so much more given when I kind of sit in meditation. Personally, again, you don't need to believe what I'm about to say. Personally, I believe that this is an act of something much bigger than us. I really do. Not much can stop the planet like that on a dime. Not much can. This is something much bigger than us. And those of us who have been in the spiritual world for a while, a lot of us have heard that 2020 was going to be a big year. I know I've heard that since I entered this world 20 years ago. Everybody used to say, oh, 2020 is the time of awakening. Things are going to change. The rise of the feminine. You hear all this stuff in the work I do. No one knowing how. This is how. Let's stop the world. Let's stop the world. And the only thing that will heal the world is us actually working together. Let's everyone hit just the stop button. Go within, and we're only going to heal this thing when we each heal ourselves and learn to love each other and work together as a planet. So there's lots of reasons this is happening. To increase the love on the planet, to balance the masculine and feminine. Most of you know that I'm a bit older, and a lot of the way I was raised was heavy into the masculine, the patriarchy. And we've always been told that this was the rise of the divine feminine. There's no other word that most people are talking about than healing. Healing is a divine feminine word. It's the word that's on everyone's tongues right now. It's about the environment. This is about us working globally together. And this is about our human evolution and how we treat ourselves and how we treat each other. And there's more, but there's huge planetary shifts happening, and each of us are being called up. It's not like some of us are and some of us are not, but everyone is being called up to do something, to take ownership, to take accountability. And so there's an expression in spiritual work that which is affects one affects all. So what I do to one, I do to everybody. So if I judge that one person, I'm judging everyone. If I'm mean to that one person, I'm mean to everybody, including how I treat myself. This time on the planet is really about going within. It's really about learning that our brain is going to say conspiracy theory. I'm not going to listen to the health department. Oh, they're doing it all wrong. Oh my God, there's people out. Oh my God. And the addiction to fear about what's going to happen with the second wave. These are all things that our human brain does to not do the work that's necessary. So we're going to spend a bit of time talking about some of the work that is necessary. And again, everything I'm teaching you guys is not just applicable to COVID. It's applicable to any source of anxiety, depression, stress that we go through. The biggest number one thing, and when I was writing this out a couple hours ago, I think I wrote on my page probably 20 times, go within. Going inside here. Going into the place where the only place where truth lies, which is in here. Go within. Anytime we're stressed, depressed, anxious, angry, fearful, number one rule of thumb, go within. And man, you know what? I know it's hard. When my mind is running 1,000,000 miles an hour, it's hard. But that's number one, go within. Number two, learn to give up control. Because control is the biggest facade that we ever have had. Control does not exist. If you've been in this work for a while, you know that the only thing we have control over is our thoughts, our emotions, and thereby our energy body. That's it. That's it. That's it. What if I direct all of my attention to thoughts, emotions, and my energy body? Take a breath with that. What if I go within and I listen to my breath? The more I listen to my breath, the more I'm in the now. The more I listen to my breath, the more I'm connected to my spirit or my soul. And the more I do that, the more I'm in touch with my natural instinct, my intuition, my inner knowing. Close your eyes for a second. And if you're driving, obviously don't close your eyes. With your eyes closed, take a few deep, slow breaths in and out. Inhale and exhale. At your own pace, using your own breath. What I want you to pay attention to is the thing that is breathing you is your soul. I'm going to say it again. Keep breathing in and out, guys. There you go. Eyes closed, breathing. Just focus on your breath. The part of you that is breathing you is your spirit, your soul, your truth of who you are. The only place you actually have access to quote-unquote control is to direct your focus here. Keep your eyes closed, keep breathing. As you focus on the thing that is breathing you, this thing called your soul or your spirit, this entity that is breathing you, eyes closed, breath moving. This thing that is breathing you is the most powerful part of you. I'm going to say that again. This part of you that is breathing you is the most powerful part of you. It is bigger than you. It is stronger than you. It is stronger than all of your human wounds. And what we're being called on is to listen within here. Take a few more breaths. And when we're not here, we're in the chatter of our mind. Most of you, I can feel your energy. It's what I do for work. Most of you are in your breath. As you're paying attention to your breath for a split second or a little longer, you're noticing there's no thoughts or less thoughts, or almost like a quiet and peace has overtaken you. You are now more in touch with your spirit, your intuitive voice, your inner knowing. This breath is your healer. Keep breathing. And the more you stay here, the more you connect with love, which is your superpower. Keep breathing. Good. Really good. Whenever you're ready, gently open your eyes. So really, there's only two things that we can be doing. You can keep your eyes closed and keep breathing. I'm good with that. It might help you if you keep focusing on your breath as I speak. I'm good with whatever you do. When you're in this place of your breath, like you are now, you're here in touch with your spirit where there's no thoughts, literally no words, and almost an essence that's bigger than you. Like I said a few minutes ago, that's more powerful than all of us put together. It's so powerful, it blows your mind. And this part of you that is so powerful wants to come forward, wants to live your life. And then we have another part of us, that human mind, that chatter, that personality, that ego. There's nothing wrong with that part of us. And the ego wants to take over. There's some beautiful birds that started singing as we went into this exercise just now. And the two questions I'll ask you right now, that ego, that mind of yours, where does that ego within you, A, give up your power, and B, not be in your truth? Just think about that for a second. That's a huge question. And for the people in the year course, a few of you are on the class right now. You guys had to do that a few weeks ago for homework. Questions again. Where are you not in your power? And where in your life are you not in your truth? I'll give you a couple examples. Keep breathing. We give up our power when we compare, when we judge, when we make another person wrong. We give up our power when we feel like we're victims to the fact that we may not be able to travel now. We give up our power when we think that something is more powerful than us. I could keep going, the list never ends. And where are you out of your truth? All of what's happening on the planet is about reacquainting us with our spirit, where we just were a minute ago, connecting with our breath, and unwinding from these twists and turmoils. We give up our power and we give up our truth. Because this is about us stepping into our power. Christ and Buddha have both been quoted as saying something like, and this is actually from Christ, acquire your peace within yourself. The truth will set you free. Acquire your peace within yourself. And some of you, I can feel your energy bodies. You're noticing that those fears are getting quieter. But if you're on this call or listening to the recording, it's because those fears have been running the show. They really have been. And so in order to get through this interesting time on the planet, it really is a couple of things I'm going to say to you right now. Again, you may want to close your eyes as I say some of these, because they'll really anchor it into your body. Is for us to know that our breath connects us to our soul, our love, which is our superpower. Our breath is our healer. This moment now is the only thing you have. Creation, your spirits, your guides, they're waiting for you to connect. They want to be present in your life. There is no better time than right now to wake up your intuition and your natural instincts. There is no better time on the planet to be present for each other other than right now. What we do to one, we do to the whole. So as a group, as a collective, well, if we ask ourselves, what can I do to serve? How can I serve? How can I be of service to my neighbor, the person who's struggling? And that's actually one of the reasons I switched this from charging for these webinars to doing them complimentary, was because it's my way of serving. Another thing we can ask ourselves, we can get into the whole mind chatter of the future and the past. Can ask, how can I serve? How can I be of compassion to this person next to me? How can I step up and help another? We have to remember there's always, with a capital always, someone who's struggling more than we are. Always, forever, forever and ever and ever. How can I be of service to that person? These are real good questions to ask ourselves. Because in order for us to get through this time, we want to get out of confusion, out of anxiety, out of stress, out of depression, into our higher self. Knowing that there's always someone struggling more than we are, and knowing that I can be of service to them. Maybe just a hand, maybe just sending them love, and being in our breath. And before we go into mini meditation, a couple of things they want me to say. A good expression when we walk through the world is, rather than, because this is about us working collectively, rather than us seeing ourselves as separate from each other, can we walk around the world and see everybody the same as us? It's really challenging when you're sensitive, like a lot of us are on the planet. So from a young age, our reptilian brain has got, there's somebody that could hurt me, so a wall goes up. And a lot of us do that. I do it all the time. Expression I use all the time when I'm out walking and I see other people. In this moment, can I see God in you? And if I can see what humans call God in you, I can see what humans call God in me. Can I see you and love you right now exactly as you are? And the more of us that do this a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, the more we're actually going to be helping each other. And then this, over a short period of time, not that long, is going to heighten that divine feminine energy. And it's going to shift the planetary consciousness so powerfully over. And the thing is, it requires every single one of us, not just healers, intuitives, coaches. Every single one of us on the planet are being called up to do this. Let's go into a meditation, and then I'll take a Q&A. Gently close your eyes and take a few breaths in and out. This is a really powerful group that I'm working with right now. You guys are such powerful women and men. Just feel your breath enter and exit. Inhale and exhale. Belly rises and belly falls. With your eyes closed, as a group, exhale together. And then inhale for 1, 2, 3. And exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. And exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep that low, slow flow of breath in and out going. Low and slow, deep and calm, easy and relaxed. As you breathe, remember your soul is breathing you. My soul is breathing me. My work in this human body is to connect with my soul. My work in this human body is to connect with my soul. The only reason I have a human body is to lug this soul around. So while I'm in this human form, I'm going to connect with a part of me that is spirit. As you breathe deeper and slower, you will start to find that your heart starts to grow. Can you feel that? Imagine this heart being juicy and big and full of love, walking around outside. And you say to the person who's passing you, I see love in you. Maybe that's just something you say in your own head. but it's something you're very aware of. And then as you pass the next person, and they might be triggering you, they might be driving you crazy. Take a few breaths and just say to yourself, this is something for me to learn. And right now I'm going to see that God is in you as well. As you breathe deeper and slower, calmer and easier, you notice your mind is starting to relax. You notice the place you gave up your power and you gave up your truth starting to dissipate. You're starting to connect more with that part of you that is full love. Deep love for each other. Deep compassion for the planet. Take a few moments now in your own mind's eye, asking yourself, where in my love, well, my life, can I have gratitude right now? Is there gratitude for the sunshine? Gratitude for your home? Gratitude for the meal that you may eat later on today? Where does the gratitude come from? On your next breath, you take a breath and look at where you give up your power and your truth and forgive yourself for that. Staying in that space of love. Deep belly breaths of love. You would not be on the planet if you were not one of the many people who are meant to help heal the planet as it goes through this. So I want you to take that very seriously. We are all here because we are here to help each other rise up and step into love. We are capable of going within. As Christ taught us, we can only acquire our peace within ourselves. Let's take a few more breaths. And before we come out of this meditation, check in. Is there more peace? Is there more inner sense of love and calm? Do I feel more connected to my soul that is breathing me right now? Even just for a glimpse of a second. A few more breaths. And then when you're ready, very, very slowly at your own place, gently open your eyes. Feel your physical body. There's absolutely no rush. When you're ready, we're going to start to reemerge. The last one or two things I'm going to say around COVID, stress, anxiety, and depression. The biggest thing we can put our focuses on is our energy body. Where are my thoughts? Where are my emotions? I'm working on this. I don't know if it's a book. I don't know if it's an article. I don't know what it is that I'm working on, but I've been writing this for a bit now. And the book or the article, I don't know. It's called What If, like what if, ... And everything inside of it is like, what if we were taught this and this is the truth kind of thing. And so what if death doesn't exist? What if the human body's temporary place that it's in, we always knew when we came here? Would it change how we lived? Would we live more from this place of than in constant fear? Would we thrive? What if that was a lie we were taught? What if what I've been writing is huge, so I'm going to start what I've been writing. But the what if list is huge. So my last question before I wrap and take Q&As is, what if we chose to be here right now? What if we were meant to get through this by going inside? What if there's peace and hope in here, and that's what's going to get us through this time on the planet? Take a few breaths, get ready for your questions and answers. I'm going to tell you guys, thank you guys so much. I'm going to hit stop recording in a second here.